had worked for his household long enough to know the sound of each morning. Before I opened my eyes, the older son rose early. Always. The father did too. Not with haste, not with the sharpness of a man burdened by fear, but with the steady rhythm of someone who believed the day was still worth meeting. The younger son had once been like sunlight in a courtyard, quick, warm, unstill. He laughed easily, spoke before thinking, climbed walls meant to be walked around. He was the kind of young man who filled a room, even when he had nothing useful to say. And perhaps because of that, we all noticed when he began to change, not at once, not enough for anyone to name it. Only in pieces he lingered, at the edge of conversations, looked down the road, too often seemed restless in the middle of blessing. A full table, a sound roof, land that had belonged to the family longer than anyone living could remember. It should have been enough. For most men, it would have been, but there are some people who can stand in the middle of abundance and still feel the ache of elsewhere. He was one of them the day he asked for his inheritance. The house changed, not loudly, no plates shattered, no doors slammed, no great public disgrace. But the silence afterward had weight. Even we, the servants, felt it. News moves strangely in a household. Some things are announced. Others travel through glances, through unfinished sentences, through the way one person avoids another in the courtyard. By evening, everyone knew he had asked for what should not be asked while his father still lived, not later, now, as if the future could be pulled forward by force, as if love could be converted into possession, as if a father could be broken down into portions and measured out by value. I remember waiting for anger, for refusal, for thunder. The father had every right, more than that. He had dignity to protect. Name, order, honor before neighbors, who noticed more than they said, but he gave it. I still do not know what that cost him in the privacy of his own heart. I only know he gave it. The younger son left soon after. He did not leave under darkness. He did not slink away ashamed. He went as men go, when they still believe freedom has a shining face. The morning he departed, I was in the lower yard with feed buckets in my hands. I watched him pass through the gate, carried more than a traveler usually would. Money does that. It makes a man walk, as though weight is the same thing as power. He did not look back, not once. I remember that, because his father did. The father stood in the courtyard until the road swallowed him. Then he remained there longer, as though the eye could summon back what the heart had already lost. Days passed, then months. Work continued. It always does. Goats still needed tending. Fences still loosened in the wind. Olive jars still had to be moved before rain. The older son worked with a kind of strength that made you step aside rather than risk slowing him down. He had always been dependable. After his brother left, he became even more so. No wasted words, no drifting thoughts. He carried responsibility, the way some men carry stones, not because they love the burden, because they do not believe anyone else will. The father changed too, though more quietly. He remained kind. He spoke to us as before. He blessed the table. He listened when spoken to. He judged disputes with fairness. But something in him was always turned toward absence. Many evenings, after the worst of the heat had passed, I would see him standing where the road first came into view, not close enough to invite comment, not so long that anyone could accuse him of foolishness, just there, as though he had business with the horizon. No one mentioned it. Love can be reverent that way. It knows when speech would only bruise what is already tender.